You're probably familiar with a Bible verse that says, "One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is one friend who sticks closer than a brother." You see, friendship is a universal part of the human experience. God put it inside the heart of each of us to want to belong and to want to have friends. So friendship, of course, is going to look different for all of us. Maybe for you, friendship looks something like this: friends laughing, memories being made. Maybe for friendships, it's about the places you'll go, the things you'll experience together, the things you'll do together. Maybe it's those sunset moments, those days that you started the day with somebody, you saw them through the moments, you got them to the end of the day or through the end of a hard time, and that's what friendship means to you. Perhaps for you, friendship has been a lifelong experience. I think of my friend David from Arizona, who's a pastor out there, and I first met him when his mom started babysitting me when we were babies. No, this isn't a picture of us, but maybe friendship is a lifelong experience for you. Maybe man's best friend is your best friend. And that is a kind of a cool friendship to have too. I'm definitely a dog person. But the thing is, friendship is something that we all need, and God knew that when He put it inside each of us. And so now here's Chris to talk about a friendship that's been really important to him.
A good friend is hard to find. A couple years before Life Changing Church, I had a friend, Levi Sufel, and me and him were friends, and we'd do stuff together, we'd have fun, but I wanted him to be a good friend. So I asked him specifically to be my accountability partner, to hold me accountable, and to keep me from doing dumb stuff like quitting ministry. There's a couple times where I wanted to kind of jump off the ledge. I wanted to quit and just go do something else. This ministry thing was hard, and there's so many times where I called him up telling him my feelings and what was going on, and he would help me. He would give me wisdom and remind me of my calling in the ministry, and he would also just help encourage me to keep going, because God has big plans for us. Well, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be at Life Changing Church, and I never would have asked my friend, my really good friend, to come and join in ministry with me here at the church.
Because Jesus knew how important friendship would be to all of humanity, He knew that it was something that He was going to model and something for us to look to Him for that example. In the book of Matthew, there's a scene where His friends are out on a ship, out in the middle of the lake, and a big, terrible storm comes up all around them. And Jesus wants to be there for His friends. So in the Bible, it actually talks about how Jesus went out and walked across the surface of the water to be with His friends. And they were totally freaking out. There's this person walking across the water. What's going on? So what did Jesus say to them? He spoke to them at once and said, "Don't be afraid. Take courage. I am here." Then Peter called to Him, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you, walking on the water." See, Jesus was there saying, "I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to be there for you. I'm there to make sure you don't feel alone." So right after that, Jesus said, "Yes, come," to Peter. "Yes, come," Jesus said. So Peter went over the side of the boat and walked on the water toward Jesus. So yes, there are two people that walked on water in history, and the water toward Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind and the waves, he was terrified, and he began to sink. "Save me, Lord," he shouted. But Jesus spoke to them at once. "Don't be afraid." He didn't say it just to Peter, but he spoke to all of them. "Don't be afraid. Take courage. I am here." Jesus is saying, I am here. I am present. Don't be afraid, because together with friendship, we don't have to be afraid. Then Peter called to him, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you, walking on the water." What an amazing story we just saw there. That Jesus said, "I'm coming, I'm here for you, I'm supporting you, I'm going to come after you when I have to." And that's what we need to do as friends. We need to be there to support each other, to show love, to show compassion. And guess what? Jesus knew that friendship was so important that not only did he need to lead by example, but sometimes he needed to be clear and concise. And that's when he said, "This is a commandment," all right? No longer just good advice. This is something you need to do. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Jesus isn't pulling any punches anymore. He said, this is how you need to live. I'm commanding you to do this. Follow through with this idea. Be a friend in all sorts of situations. Love each other the same way I have loved you. And be willing to lay down your life for each other. If you're really blessed, and if you've had a really wonderful life, maybe you've had even one person in your life that you've been able to call your best friend. And maybe if you're even more blessed beyond any comprehension, your best friend has been Jesus. So that's my challenge for you today, is not only live like Jesus and be an amazing friend and be willing to lay down your life for other people, but also reach out to Jesus and be his friend. Let Jesus fill that need in you for that connection and that deep friendship, because Jesus wants to be that for you, and Jesus wants to be better than your best friend.
Hey, what's going on, Move Youth? This is Joel. I'm here with Sadie Griffin, one of our worship leaders, and we're here to bring you this week's worship note in the song Make Room by Community Music. So Sadie, what does this song mean to you? What does it speak to you?
I love this song. I love the title of it. I love how it talks about surrender and to make room. And part of surrendering is literally making room in your agenda and your heart for what the Lord wants and the will of the Lord instead of your own.
That's so good.
That's what I love.
Like during this time where before we were just hustling, bustling to the next thing, God has created this pause, I believe, to allow us, to give us no excuses to make that room, to make that time.
Yeah.
And so as you are hopefully just listening to this, maybe throughout the week, that you would just take those moments. Maybe it's just the drive in your car to and from places. Maybe it's just in your alone time or just spending time with God. But you just take that moment and to just begin to ask God, Lord, I'm making room for you. Show up in a mighty way.
Yeah.
And so we hope this blesses you. Have a great week. We love you guys.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye.